Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome to another week, another episode of the Medicine Ball Podcast. You could have chosen to spend your time anywhere. You rock with me today. Thank you. I never take that lightly. Before we get into it, let my beat drop. Yes, that's right. Welcome to Medicine Ball with your boy LS3 to be exact. And if you ain't in shape, at least your brain should be. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Medicine Ball Podcast, where we focus on giving your brain a six-pack by exercising your mind. Now, exercising your mind means that you actively think about and deal with all situations by first seeking to do anything other than what you are normally programmed and or comfortable in doing. Now, if you're someone who struggles and wants to get better at thinking about things beforehand, as opposed to reacting in ways that require less effort, well, just like anything you want to get better at, it does require training, practice, and work. Now, I'm well aware that thinking about things beforehand as opposed to responding off instinct does require effort. And who doesn't prefer things that are easy? Well, the first step, my friends, can be very easy, and that's to begin to look at all things from an unbiased point of view, which in itself will increase your curiosity in life. Now, exercising your mind won't give you all the answers. You will, however, begin to look at things with more peace, understanding, and patience, while simultaneously equipping yourself with more tools and strategies to help you effectively deal with this thing called life. Now, before we go any further, I'm no doctor, no psychiatrist, no psychologist. I have, however, been diagnosed with bipolar disorder level 1 for 16 years. And to be honest, I got to a point in my life where I was looking at the person I was becoming versus the person I wanted to be. And that, among other things, required me to look at my mental health responsibly. So whether or not you're diagnosed or know someone who's diagnosed or have symptoms or just want to know more about it, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're one of the many people who could just use some tips, tricks, and different ideas to help you get through day-to-day life. Pull up a seat, kick up your feet. This is your family, man. Welcome home, no judgment zone. This week's episode 610. I know it's been a minute, but I'm going to explain. Episode 610. Christians, Kobe Ham. Let's get it. You know, and just, I'm going to have to keep it real this episode. Traditional Christians and people who haven't even read through the Bible not one time always like to say, yo, you're fasting, you shouldn't tell nobody, or yo, that's a sin, and da-da-da-da-da, and they don't have no understanding of it. I have an understanding of it, you know what I mean, humbly, because I'm always plugged into my Bible, into my scripture, and to the word every chance I get. Bro, it's 2024. It's blasphemous to think that God is not aware of the Bible being a living word and adaptable to the things that he knew was going to happen ahead of time, all right? If we need to take a break from social media or something like that, and maybe we're somebody who's a speaker, and I've spoken on this before, it's okay to let people know that you're fasting so you're not indulging in certain things. It's the dramatics, from my understanding of the Bible, that wasn't appreciated. It's the dramatics of those people who would go out looking rough on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got weak tired, got weak energy, and I'm fasting, so you know that. Nah, you're supposed to go out and be stronger because you're spending more time in the Word and with God. And I think a lot of people don't understand that and don't get it. So I try to be very careful when it comes to religious talk, you know what I mean? Because I know my gifts. I know where I'm at with it. I know the work that I've put in, but I'm just going to keep it real with it. Some of us need to really ask ourselves before we start being so openly vocal about biblical references. Bro, how much of the Bible have you read? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you read through the whole Bible? You probably need to read through it multiple times and multiple different variations to get a deeper understanding. That along with prayer and constant communication, all right? So with the fast happening, and I'm pretty sure I had explained what was going on in my new endeavor at the shop and with, you know, the crab business and things of that nature. But the fast took me out of it. So it gave me an additional week to try to kind of gear up and bring you guys some good content. You know what I'm saying? Coming forward for the next week. So let me step back a little bit. So my accountability partner who passed away, took his life. This is somebody who I was talking to every day. He had things going on that I would mentor him with. He was mentoring me with a lot of things in the mindsets. So you have to understand, like, as I'm going through this fasting, he was a believer, you know what I mean? But he had certain things that he was still trying to figure out and get a better understanding of. I'm going to just leave that right there, right? But while I was fasting, just to include him, I was calling this dude every day. And I want y'all to hear, because this is all going to go into the episode, but sometimes, you know, the podcast is my way to heal and get things out. So I just kind of want you guys to understand the mindset of somebody who is diagnosed with bipolar with extreme anxiety, who's taking on leadership roles, more responsibility, and trying to help other people, right? Humbly. So because he wasn't necessarily able to take part in the fast with things he had going on, I just made it a thing to every morning. And this has to do with my spiritual growth and me making a pattern and a habit of not just praying, but just an open conversation and involvement of God in my life, choices, decisions, thought process, and so forth. I prayed with this guy that whole week that I was fasting. I made it a point to get up in the morning, go through my devotional, make sure that my mindset was right, because I knew that even though I was fasting, I still had some sort of spiritual responsibility to call each morning. And during that and during what I was going through, somebody who has questions about things, it was a way to show them my faith, right? Praying for them, praying with them every morning. And then I say, like, maybe on a Thursday, I was like, yo, bro, you pray today. And he gave me a prayer, and I wasn't expecting it to be a great prayer, but I just wanted to get him in the mindset of having these conversations with God and just like, yo, what would you even say to him? Prayed with him all through that week. I talked to him on Sunday, which was the 21st, I believe, right? Monday, I went to hit him up. Even though my fast is over, I'm still trying to hit him up because he was going through some things. Nothing. Tuesday, went to hit him up, texted him. Nothing. Wednesday, I might have got caught up with work and just busyness of life. Thursday, I might have got caught up with work and busyness of life. Friday, calling him and texting him. Saturday, I just got a weird feeling. And on Sunday, my frat brother, who I previously had on the show, Jason Johnson, hit me up and was like, yo, Gamble's gone, bro. So that was the day that I was intending to do the podcast. And I was really going to be speaking in that particular episode on, like, why we shouldn't be trying to play a game of golf when it comes to life, right? And from that aspect, just like, the bigger picture was we shouldn't be trying to do nothing by ourselves. I'm really trying to get away from this. I'm a God within me. I can manifest anything. I have the energy to do anything. I can overcome anything. Where does it say that in the Bible? Where does it say that in the Bible, right? And if you did read that in the Bible, I guarantee the context behind that had to do with the Holy Spirit of Jesus being involved for you to be able to overcome things that aren't righteous when you're moving righteous, right? We pervert the word so much. But I got a call. He told me Gamble had been taken from me. And this was like 30 minutes before I was supposed to, start recording. I had an event I had to go to. And, I've been kind of trying to be hyper aware of my emotional state, how I react to certain news, being able to carry myself as a righteous man, which means not being so reactive, thinking before I speak, not being so emotional. And I want to be careful with that because it's important that we share our emotions or have a space to carry our emotions in and, get rid of them and address them healthily, right? But long story short, I just broke down and I cried. And as I'm speaking to y'all, I realized that it's selfish in a lot of ways because I just remember when we sat in my driveway and had a conversation for hours, he was playing me some music. I started opening his eyes up to some spiritual, some religion. And when I say spiritual, bro, I'm talking straight Christianity, right? Because I got to be careful with my words and stand how I'm standing, rock how I'm rocking, right? But just like my Christian beliefs, fasting, eating right, the Bible, and this is a loaded story. And, you go from that and you watch somebody, and I guess I can put it out, like this was somebody who was going to basically, and had already gotten the certification to be a physical version of medicine ball. And it was going to be called Jackpot Within, right? So I don't want to take nothing from him. But he was working on his eating correctly, his dieting correctly, his working out. He was in the gym damn near every day. And he had just told me, like, yo, we about to get the physical side. You keep doing the mental side with the medicine ball, and we going to be there. So I want y'all to take all of this in real quick, because I want to let y'all know where my mind was and why even now I'm having a little bit of trouble doing this podcast. And it's arrogant in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? And I hold accountability and I try to look at myself realistically. It's arrogant in a lot of ways, but I started feeling like, how can I do this medicine ball thing? Right? How can I continue to do this medicine ball thing and coach people and mentor people and talk people through things when somebody I consider one of my closest friends who isn't weak-minded, I didn't even know that he was feeling suicidal. And furthermore, I couldn't support my brother in a time where he was feeling serious suicidal, and I'm supposed to be medicine ball. So I need y'all to understand, like, for this past week, it's been a lot because you got to still deal with your responsibilities as an adult. You feel what I'm saying? You still have to treat people with a certain kindness and respect. And in my situation, I'm still practicing how to be gentle when upset. You know what I mean? Because I've had and while I'm speaking this, you know what I'm saying? Let me lead by example. I'm probably gonna have to get some counseling and maybe reach out to my church and just kind of work through it. Now, mind you, I'm more mentally aware than the average person. I don't have no qualm saying that because I put the work in, right? So I understand that some of the thoughts and feelings that I'm having right now aren't healthy, right? So I want y'all to really understand where I'm coming from, and that brings me to the episode title. Episode 610, Kobe Hand. We just gonna call it Kobe Hand. So Jalil, or Gamble as I affectionately called him, and actually for the episode and going forward, I'm gonna call him Jackpot because that's what he was working on, man. The jackpot within. And this is hard for me, y'all, because this was my real guy. And I can't even really if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? I never claimed to be involved. People who know me know my background. Whether it be music production and the people I was hanging around, whether it be my father's side of the family and how some of them individuals carry themselves and the respect that they garner, I was just around a lot of stuff, right? And Jackpot, you know what I'm saying, he was the youngin'. He was born in 91. So even though, you know what I mean, that's a reasonable age, he was the youngin' amongst us. And I don't watch this man. I don't even want to put it out there, but I've watched him grow, bro. And my brother Jason probably has watched him grow more because he's known him longer. But just the period of time I've seen this man go from some wild stuff to a man, right? So we always had these things we would be talking about, especially lately here, as we continue to politic and sharpen each other and hold each other accountable, ask each other tough questions and talk about our plans and whatnot. And we use a lot of basketball and sports references in general. You know what I'm saying? Look at me still talking in present tense, man. We used a lot of sports references in general. You know what I mean? Whether it be him might be questioning like, yo, why do I have to think for this person or be extra empathetic because I know that they're triggered or whatever like that. I used to be like, yo, that's that LeBron James. You feel what I'm saying? Or that Kobe Bryant where they knew so much about the people on their team. Michael Jordan probably too as well. You know what I'm saying? They knew so much about the people on the team that they just knew their tendencies. You see what I'm saying? They knew their tendencies almost better than the people on their team. And they needed to. So that's why LeBron is a great, as I get older, I got more respect for him. He's a great passer and facilitator. He ain't got that Kobe in him, but he knows who's hot from what area to almost a science. Who's going to be reactive on this day? Who might have went out this day? I'll guarantee you LeBron know the party habits and everything of all these people, right? So we use a lot of sports references. And one reference we have been using here lately is the Kobe hand. The Kobe hand. Now, let me introduce another idea to you all, which is called the wave off. So if you watch sports, I know for sure in football, I know for sure in basketball, I mean, there's probably other sports when it happens, but I know in those two sports, there's something known as a wave off. And if you're a casual or you've never played sports, you might not even know what it is. So in football, it might be a situation where, and it's probably going to be one of the guys who get the glory. You know what I'm saying? So a running back, a wide receiver, a quarterback, somebody who's going to get the ball and do something with the ball, right? They have these times, and I used to have running backs who I played with who did this, where it would be like they should be tired. So they might have just broke off a 20-yard run and had to break 5 tackles, right? They should be tired. So, there's substitutions that happen, right? Running back it'd be time for him to do that, and he should be tired, and he get up and he wave off the coach. He'll wave his hand in a way like, nah, don't bring nobody on here to substitute for me. Don't bring nobody else to the game. I'm staying in the game. It's a wave off. You will see a lot of wide receivers and running backs do it. Just pay attention anymore, especially if it's after a crazy play. Like a lot of times these wide receivers, if they go for a 50-yard pass or something like that, they'll need to come out the game. Now, mind you, they running routes every play, but they might need to come out the game to catch a breather for a play or two and then come back in. You can even notice it with running backs a lot too when it comes to a situation where they might break off like an 80-yard run and it might not score a touchdown, but that's why that other guy who's, I'm not going to call him a random, but not the featured running back, always end up scoring a lot of touchdowns sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's because the running back had to get a breather. But them who got the dogs in it, they going to get their touchdown. They're not going to want to come out after they just ran 80 yards down the game. They're going to stay in there no matter how tired they are and get their touchdown. Boom. Let's go to basketball. Basketball is much more visual. Much more visual, especially if you watch NBA games. And it's mainly ball dominant players, right? So the Kyrie Irvings, the Kobe Bryants, the James Hardens, the people who have the ball in their hand a lot, the LeBron Jameses, right? And me, y'all know me, I'm a Kobe Bryant fan, Black Mamba all day, you know what I'm saying? But Kobe used to do it differently. He used to do it differently. And to be honest, that's what started a lot of issues with him and Shaq. Because Kobe knew Shaq wasn't putting in the work to hit no free throws. Yeah, the game is on the line. Yeah, you the most dominant player. But, bro, I'm not about to give you the ball. So Shaq might be calling for the ball and Kobe wave him off with the hand. Like, y'all, get out of here almost. It's almost like yo, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And Michael Jordan did it too, but I'm a Kobe fan. The Kobe hand, right? And we got into this thing where we realized as we was breaking down the things were going on in our lives and what we're dealing with, like, man, a lot of times in life, you got to throw that Kobe hand. You got to wave something off so you can address something that's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy Lin might want the ball. Smush Parker might want the ball. And they might be open. But, bro, I've been shooting 2,000, not even shooting, because legend has it that Kobe was making 2,000 shots a day in some of his prime. You know what I'm saying? When he left that 1 year and came back averaging 30 points a game, like 98, 99, this man, they say he was making, not taking, making 2,000 shots a day. Who knows how many shots he had to shoot to get that? So when you have that kind of work and that kind of focus that you put into what you're doing, and when you lock in a specific way, you have to understand, and this is something I constantly talk about on the show, bro, there's a lot of distractions. And this year, specifically 2024, with the year of the dragon, the year of the snake, and with the elections and all of this stuff they're throwing out about these new viruses that everybody is getting, the prices of stuff, the housing market, you know what I'm saying? Even the celebrities are coming out. P. Diddy been caught up, you know what I mean? People are just making crazy statements. It's a lot of stuff going on. So it's just like, this year specifically is filled with a lot of distractions. And from a spiritual point of view, there's even more distractions and diversions to take your attention away from whatever you should be focusing on from a righteous standpoint or a good human being standpoint. And I think we need to stop for a second and really think about that. Me personally, it's February, 3rd? Bro, I've already lost 2 people and had other people with health problems, business deals completely collapse and reform. It's been nuts for me, and it ain't even been 45 days yet. And I am a emotionally aware, right? I'm an intellectual person, so if I can see it, I understand that a lot of people may not see it. They may just pass it off as life, but we can't afford to really do that now with where we going, what's going on in the world, and how we build it. So, in kind of honor of my guy, Jackpot, and to kind of tell you guys, the things that I go through and how I deal with it, we have to know when it's appropriate to put up a Kobe hand when it comes to distractions, things that are unrighteous, things that are beneath us, taking the easy road a lot of times, which means cursing somebody out, having a nasty attitude, being selfish, wondering why that's not the way to go about it. And here on Medicine Ball, I had to get back into my Mamba mentality and take some time away and give even the podcast the Kobe hand to ensure that the overall goal is still obtained. which is to speak positively, mentor, help as many people as I possibly can, and do it in a positive way. And more importantly, live righteously in a way that Christ would accept. And I can't do that by, you know, going about dealing in public realms when I'm not 100%. So today, I just wanted to, let you guys know where I've been and let you know that I had to take a bacon break and put that Kobe hand up. Now, let me expound upon this real quick, because I know I got to always be careful with how I'm saying things, and I want to be responsible with it, especially in today's world, man. It's real easy to take what I'm saying and run with it on the selfish tip. I see it all the time, and it's dangerous because it's so easily overlooked when people are just like, yo, I just got to do for me. I just got to look out for me. I'm not saying that. And I need y'all to understand why I'm calling this the Kobe hand. Let's go back to what I just said. Kobe Bryant, over that summer when he started doing some of these things, even to Shaquille O'Neal, made 2,000 shots a day. If you're not somebody who's taking the time to make sure that you going about things in a righteous way, staying in scripture, praying, making sure that you're being kind, going into each situation mindful, trying to always choose your words kindly. This is work you got to put in before you can know when you have to put up the Kobe hand, because you're doing it from a place of goodness, right? You're doing it of a place of healing. So let's not get that confused. I don't want to never take anything and just throw it out there to that. All right. But I just wanted to tap in with everybody, let y'all know where I've gone, and tell you some things that you can do when you're faced with these distractions that are here. They're here, and they're here every year, whether it be in the form of trends, whether it be in the form of sayings or cancel culture. It's all this weird stuff that comes in as a distraction. Nah, we stay in focus here no matter what we going through. And if that means we got to put up the Kobe hand to a couple of things to slow it down so we can get our perspective right and make sure that we're coming correct, that's what we're going to do. So to continue kind of honoring my man, there's a lot of things, because this is one of my main accountability partners. And again, like I said, I'm still dealing with that and facing the fact that, I'm a whole life coach, you know what I mean? A whole mentor, a whole brother figure to a lot of people, you know what I mean? Older brother, somebody who's looked to for advice, and here's somebody who's closer to me who seemingly didn't need it. And, I talked to this guy 3 hours the day before he took his life. 3 hours. And it was a tough conversation, man. It was a very tough conversation. And it was in reference to some things he was dealing with in his life, with his relationships, where he was going spiritually, what he was facing in his life. And, I think sometimes, especially as men, it can be hard for us to express emotion or be worried about how we look to someone else. If you're talking to one of your homeboys about a girl, but you did something that might be presumed as weak, even though that's your homeboy, it's going to be harder for you. And we've created this environment where you're not going to always be real about that. So, again, in wrapping up this episode, and kind of honoring Jackpot, next week we're going to have another episode called Sensei Mode. That's something me and him was on, and that's kind of the next level of the Kobe hand. That's where you're able to continue to think correctly, logically, in tough situations. You know what I mean? In a high pressure situation. So that's Sensei Mode. We're going to talk about being more mindful. I ask that y'all tap in, and again, just shout out to him, man. Make sure that you tapping in and checking in on your friends and your folks, your strong ones. Sometimes we need to press a little bit harder and ask uncomfortable questions and make ourselves more vulnerable and being helpful, man, especially for people we care about, because you never truly can 100% know what another person is dealing with mentally, what they're thinking about, and how they're going about dealing with it, all right? Y'all reach out to me, follow. Wanted to tap in. This has been episode 610. Kobe hand, all right? I love y'all. Stay up. Make sure you go out and tell somebody you love them today, man. Make sure you take an extra step today to be kind to somebody. That person who might be being a little obnoxious. Now, mind you, I'm not saying let nobody run over you, but just pause for a second. Imagine what they may or may not be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have, and I don't mean to make light of it, somebody could have lost their dog. Somebody could have lost their best friend. Somebody could have just got fired. And you've come in contact with this person. And it's not even about ego, man. It's about do you want to be a friend of Jesus? Because we can't earn our way into heaven, right? We can't do anything. Our good works are like dirty rags to him. But it's like we should live in a way that he will want us to live. That's what it's about. What would a friend of Jesus do, bro? Sometimes you got to swallow that, and you never know. That interaction with that person can help them. I have another very good friend, very close friend. Y'all know about Barbie, but I have another friend, man, who challenged me and said, "Yo, what if the conversations you had with him prior was what kept him here up to that point?" Because I immediately started beating up on myself, like, yo, I wasn't able to help my friend, somebody I love and care about, and I never thought about it that way. And I'm so thankful for just the people in my life and the people around me. Let's try to go into our interactions with other human beings with more mindfulness and more mindfulness about them. We in a selfish world, bro. The easiest thing to do is be selfish and care about yourself, all right? Let's lock in. Let's be good people. I love y'all. I truly love y'all. Stay up until next week. Yeah, yeah. Out to him, man. Make sure that you tapping in and checking in on your friends and your folks, your strong ones. Sometimes we need to press a little bit harder and ask uncomfortable questions and make ourselves more vulnerable and being helpful, man, especially for people we care about, because you never truly can 100% know what another person is dealing with mentally, what they're thinking about, and how they're going about dealing with it, all right? Y'all reach out to me, follow. Want to tap in. This has been episode 610. Kobe Hand, all right? I love y'all. Stay up. Make sure you go out and tell somebody you love them today, man. Make sure you take an extra step today to be kind to somebody. That person who might be being a little obnoxious. Now, mind you, I'm not saying let nobody run over you, but just pause for a second. Imagine what they may or may not be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have, and I don't mean to make light of it, somebody could have lost their dog. Somebody could have lost their best friend. Somebody could have just got fired. And you've come in contact with this person. And it's not even about ego, man. It's about like, yo, do you want to be a friend of Jesus? Because we can't earn our way into heaven, right? We can't do anything. Our good works are like dirty rags to him. But it's like we should live in a way that he will want us to live. That's what it's about. What would a friend of Jesus do, bro? Sometimes you got to swallow that, and you never know that interaction with that person can help them. I have another very good friend, very close friend. Y'all know about Barbie, but I have another friend, man, who challenged me and said, "Yo, what if the conversations you had with him prior was what kept him here up to that point?" Because I immediately started beating up on myself, like, yo, I wasn't able to help my friend, somebody I love and care about, and I never thought about it that way. And I'm so thankful for just the people in my life and the people around me. Let's try to go into our interactions with other human beings with more mindfulness and more mindfulness about them. We in a selfish world, bro. The easiest thing to do is be selfish and care about yourself, all right? Let's lock in. Let's be good people. I love y'all. I truly love y'all. Stay up until next week. Yeah, yeah.